Grandma Eudora's T-shirt factory. Up a big, big hill, down a long, long path, through a thick, thick forest, there is an old, old house. This is the house of the Maslapi family. There are 9 Maslapis, Uncle Lloyd and Grandma Eudora, Delia and Petula, Henrietta and Violet, baby Oscar, Itchy the dog, and Nicholas. Nicholas, the organizer. Uncle Lloyd just loved the way that Nicholas organized his T-shirts. All right, so we skipped that page accidentally, so we're going to go back. Nicholas is fondly called the organizer by his family because once he organized everything in the house, even Uncle Lloyd's T-shirts. He folded each T-shirt ever so carefully and he stacked them one on top of another. And he made 2 very neat piles for Uncle Lloyd. And then he rolled each one and put a big rubber band around it. Each roll had exactly 5 T-shirts, 1 for each day of the week. Because on the weekends, Uncle Lloyd wore his fancy shirts with the buttons. Then Nicholas made a sign for him. If you look at the sign, it says T-chart, the day and the color of the shirt. So Monday is red, Tuesday is yellow, Wednesday is blue, Thursday is pink, Friday is green, weekends, fancy shirts with buttons. Uncle Lloyd just loved the way that Nicholas had organized his T-shirts. Now, every time he did his laundry, he would organize them just like Nicholas had, in piles of 5 with a rubber band around them. He used the T-chart to help him. One day, Uncle Lloyd was doing his laundry and Itchy was helping. He grabbed a big bottle of bleach with his teeth, and before Uncle Lloyd could yell, "No, Itchy, not with the colors," he had dumped it all over Uncle Lloyd's T-shirts. When Uncle Lloyd took the T-shirts out of the wash, there were swirls and blobs and blotches everywhere, and the colors were all mixed up. The red T-shirt had pink and green on it, and the blue T-shirt was now turquoise and yellow. Itchy went and sat in the corner with his paws over his head. Grandma Eudora made him feel so much better, though. When she saw what he had done, she said, "Oh, Itchy, you are an artist. Those are the most beautiful T-shirts I have ever seen." Itchy wagged his tail and grinned so big you could see all his teeth. And right then, Grandma Eudora decided. She decided to start Grandma Eudora's T-shirt factory. She went to the store where Uncle Lloyd bought his T-shirts, and she ordered lots and lots and lots in all colors and sizes. Next, she bought big bottles of bleach and boxes of rubber bands. She took everything back to the laundry room. First, she twisted each T-shirt with a rubber band. Itchy did the second step. He poured bleach all over them. Then Grandma Eudora washed them and hung them on a clothesline to dry. "We will sell these," she announced proudly. Soon there were T-shirts hanging on clotheslines everywhere in the house. Up the big staircase to Nicholas's room, in Delia's room, in Petula's room, in Henrietta's room, and in Violet's room. Baby Oscar had them hanging from his crib, and Itchy even had them in his doghouse. "I need to organize," Nicholas thought. "Everything is a mess again. We need to know how many T-shirts we have." So here's a picture of all the T-shirts everywhere in the house. And so he did. Nicholas folded each T-shirt carefully and stacked them one on top of another. First, he made piles with 5, but these looked very small, and so he put 2 piles together to make 10. He rolled them up and put a rubber band around them. Delia, Petula, Violet, and Henrietta began to help, and soon the t-shirts were all organized. How many do we have? Uncle Lloyd asked. 4 rolls of 10 and 3 loose ones here, Nicholas reported with satisfaction. 43. We have 1 roll of 10 and 8 loose here, Delia and Petula yelled from upstairs. 18. Violet and Henrietta were still working on the rest of the house. Soon they finished too. They came running in. 39, they announced with glee. We made 3 rolls and have 9 loose ones left. We were 1 short, so we couldn't make another roll. Here's a picture of all the t-shirts and rolls. We need a way to keep track, Nicholas said. I will make another T-chart. That way I can organize the rolls of 10 and the loose ones. When we have enough loose ones to make another roll, we'll know. When Nicholas was done writing, he stepped back and looked at the T-chart. I think we can make another roll, he said as he added up all the loose T-shirts. Yep, 20 loose ones. He wrote that down. We can make 2 rolls, said Henrietta, jumping up and down. 20 is 2 rolls. Nicholas crossed out the 20 and wrote a 2 in the rolls of 10 column. Then he put a 0 in the column of the loose T-shirts because now there were no loose ones left. They were all in rolls. Then he added up the rolls and wrote a 10. 10 rolls exactly, Nicholas said with a satisfied smile. And that's 100 T-shirts. Wow, I think we're ready to open Grandma Eudora's T-shirt factory. And so he made a big sign. Grandma Eudora's T-shirt factory, 100 T-shirts for sale. Soon the customers came. They said that the T-shirts were the most beautiful ones they had ever seen. Nicholas used his T-chart to keep track of the numbers of T-shirts they had in the factory. When the first order came in, it was for 13 T-shirts. 1 roll and 3 loose, Nicholas thought. All the T-shirts were in rolls, so Nicholas opened 1 roll and wrote 9 rolls and 10 loose on his chart. He still had 100 T-shirts, but now he could keep track more easily. Underneath, he wrote 1 roll, 3 loose for the order of 13, and he gave that number of T-shirts to the customer. Then he subtracted. Now there were 8 rolls and 7 loose ones left. 87 T-shirts left to sell. From that day on, every time T-shirt orders came in, Nicholas would record them in his T-charts. Grandma Eudora was very happy that Nicholas had found a way to organize her supply. She and Itchy always knew when the supply was running low, and they had to make more. And then Nicholas would record that too. Soon Grandma Eudora's T-shirt factory was famous, and customers came from all over, near and far. Uncle Lloyd liked to tell the customers that it had been his idea to make the beautiful T-shirts, and that he had thought of it one day when he was doing laundry. But Grandma Eudora wouldn't let him get away with that story. She would take all the customers to Itchy's doghouse to meet him. She had asked Nicholas to make him a big sign too. It read, "Itchy, the artist of Grandma Eudora's T-shirt factory." Looking at this slide, how many T-shirts are there? And I'm going to want you to tell me how you figured it out. So I'll give you a couple minutes to look at this slide. How many T-shirts are there altogether, and how did you figure it out? All right, I would like you to take a look at this chart. It's not quite a T chart because a T has 2 columns, but we would call this a chart or a table, and it has the number of t-shirts altogether, how many packs of t-shirts, still 10 in a pack, and how many loose t-shirts there are. What do you notice about this chart? Are there any mistakes in this chart? I'm interested in your thinking. The very first slide is the math talk that we just did. So there's nothing for you to do on this slide unless you want to play around with drawing packs of 10. But don't waste your work time doing that. You are going to bundle the t-shirts, and how many ways can you find? So right now, I have 25 loose t-shirts. Well, I am going to bundle, I think I'm going to start with 10s. So I'm going to keep 2 packs and 5 loose. I wonder if there's another way I can do this. Slide 3 has a hint on it for you. Slide 2 and slide 3 are the same. You may choose one of those slides to answer today. Slide 4, you'll notice that you have some different numbers to do. Slide 5, different numbers to use. I want you to see how many different ways you can solve this problem. Excuse me. This says challenge, but I know that you can all do this. By looking at the problems you already did, meaning slides 2 or 3, 4, and 5, we already did those. What is your estimate of how many ways there will be to solve for the number 128? So I have 128 shirts. I'm going to say those are loose. How many ways can I make 128? If you notice how I set it up with the T-chart, that's a way to show and explain how you know. Okay, so it also says to make an estimate. So I think there are going to be 3 ways to solve it. Now I need to show and explain my answer.